Nolan, very good to see you. The one money move that could add years to your retirement nest egg. Let's address the number one fear of most retirees, running out of money. And one way to make your nest egg last longer is to figure out how to keep all of it in your pocket as opposed to sharing it with the government. So take a look at this headline from the Wall Street Journal. How can converting your tax-deferred accounts to Roth accounts add years to your nest egg?
Yeah, so converting tax deferred accounts or pre-tax accounts, it's what a lot of retirees have their 401ks and 403bs in. Converting or moving it over to Roth accounts allows your money to grow tax deferred. Tax deferred and tax free on withdrawal. The only con or the only bad thing about doing that is you have to pay tax sometimes when you put money into a Roth. So when you talk about these conversions, basically what you're trying to do is take advantage of tax rates while they're low, put money into a tax advantaged account so that the money's free when you take it out at the end of the road instead of having to pay a lot more in taxes on a much larger amount of money.
I'm glad you mentioned today's historically low tax rate. That's, of course, one reason why Roth conversion saw a 44% jump in 2024. However, President-elect Trump has pledged to extend his 2017 tax cuts. So should we still be considering a conversion?
Well, I think it's still a good idea to at least run through a couple illustrations, look at last year's tax return and see if there's any wiggle room in your current tax bracket before you bump up into the next one. And that's oftentimes what we look at when looking for Roth conversions. So I think it's probably still a good idea to look. I mean, if this tax bill is extended, a lot of tax bills have to have some sunset period built into them or some time period where the tax bill reverts back to whatever it was before. I think a lot of people are under the impression taxes will go up at some point in the future. It's just a matter of when. So I think it's maybe a good idea to take advantage of historically low tax brackets, but be prudent when you do your conversions and money movements.
Yeah, let's drill down into that a little bit more. What are some risks or downsides that come with Roth conversions that we need to keep in mind?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest risks that you have when doing Roth conversions is converting too much. I mean, like that may be one thing that I've seen in the past where somebody, gets on the conversion train and wants to move all of their money post-tax and thinks that taxes are going up in 2 or 3 years and they move everything. Well, oftentimes when you do that, you're paying a whole lot of money in federal and state taxes on those conversions. And if you're not being overly risky with the money once it's in the Roth, you oftentimes can't recover a lot of the money that you paid in taxes. So I would say converting too much or not being prudent enough with the conversions maybe is one risk. I would say a second risk maybe is doing the conversion and having the tax payment paid on the converted amount instead of from your bank account. That's also something that we may recommend people do. So when you do your conversion from IRA over to Roth, you pay some taxes on that.
Right.
So if the tax bill is $5,000 or $10,000 or something, you could have that withheld from the converted amount, or you could have it paid out of your bank. Oftentimes, I would recommend you pay an estimated tax payment out of your bank so that you can keep as much in the Roth as possible. And then that can grow a little bit more aggressively on the other side of it and make up for those payments that you made out of your bank account.
That makes sense. Certainly a lot to consider and a lot of numbers to crunch. So Nolan, if somebody would like to do the math with you, what's the best way to reach you?
So they can call us at 616-301-2581. And if it's a tax specific question, the extension is number 4. Or they could go to our website, cornerstone-rp.com, and just ask a question in the contact us box and we'll get right back to you.
Thank you, Nolan.
Thanks, Erin.